Friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. Sephora has done us all a great favor. They've put together a list of 15 fragrances that women actually want men to wear. Yeah, the good stuff. The stuff that's gonna get you attention. They already know what that is. Way to go, Sephora. Your brain, so big.
I'm flexing my brain like crazy right now.
So what I'm gonna be doing is sharing all those 15 fragrances with you, the ones that the ladies actually want you to wear. Because what they've done is they've compiled them into a sample set where you can basically get a sample of each one if you purchase it off their website, and then you get a free bottle of the fragrance of your choice from those 15. Yeah, it's one of those deals. I have it linked in the description in case you want to check it out, but I'm gonna be sharing each one of those fragrances with you here today. I'm gonna let you know which ones are actually good buys, which ones are bad buys, which ones suck, I don't care what they say. And I'm gonna tier all of these out, A, B, C, and F for horrible. Are you ready to see what they think is the best of the best that the ladies want? Why eau de parfum first up? Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Why eau de parfum is a go-to. Like, this is one of the best-selling fragrances out there ever since it came out. The reason for that? Because pretty much everybody does genuinely like this stuff. I can't argue with this choice at all. It makes sense. It's sweet, it's fresh, it's easy to wear, the performance is locked in, you can wear it year-round, daytime or nighttime. It sells just as well as Bleu de Chanel and Dior Sauvage. It's the real deal. But does it actually make sense in this situation? So the whole setup here, 98 bucks US, that's the cost. And again, that comes with 15 samples, so a sample size of each fragrance that I'm gonna talk to you about here today. And then you can select, as I said, one of the fragrances to get for free from Sephora, the one that you like the most. But it's not all apples to apples. They're different sizes, depending on the fragrance. So this one, you would get a 1.4 size bottle, 1.4 fluid ounces. That is kinda dinky. Yeah, that's not great. And I gotta say, it's almost offensive. You know, they're giving you the 40 mil size, can't give me the 60 mil? I mean, come on, ridiculous. But you do save money because this one is $99 retail for that size, so you save $1. And you basically get all of those sample sizes for free. Let's go. As far as women's attention goes and compliments, this stuff, A tier out of the tiers we're using today. As far as a good buy, F tier. It's not a good deal. Stronger With You Intensely is on that list also, and this one also makes sense. Toffee, cinnamon, lavender, that whole glazed chestnut thing going on here. This is a stunner for fall and winter time, and yes, women love it. That being said, you can say that for just about all the Stronger With You fragrances. It is not specific to Stronger With You Intensely, but that does not mean it doesn't work, because it does. And you can almost call this an iconic fragrance at this point. As far as like modern gourmand adjacent fragrances, this is one of the biggest ones out there. If you choose this one, you get a 50 ml size bottle, and the retail on that is 105 bucks. So you save $7. That being said, at discounters, this is gonna be quite a lot cheaper than that. So once again, as far as the attention, the compliment factor, all of that, A tier, easy. As far as how good the deal is, F tier. As of right this second, a 50 ml in JOMASHOP, 68 bucks. So, ooh, the One Parfum, a new one from Dolce & Gabbana. I'm gonna tell you straight away, this A tier, as far as attention and all that goes. It's like a classy nighttime evolution of the One Eau de Parfum, a fantastic iteration on that style, perfect for date nights or just nights out in general. Super sexy, spicy, sweet, woody, tobacco, all of that going on. And actually a 1.7 ounce of this is $155. So yeah, you get a 50 mil, not the full 100 mil, but this is the first time where it actually makes sense. That is a $57 saving over normal retail prices, plus you get 15 samples included. Nice, real nice. All that being said, this one's kind of weird when it comes to discounters. So some places have it for a much higher price, and then other times I've seen it for actually pretty cheap, and then it's gone. So like JOMASHOP had it listed for a day for like $58 or something like that. But it was really weird because it didn't actually have a picture of the bottle. It didn't really show up when you searched for it. You had to like go diving through the website to find it, and then it was gone and then back and then gone. So if you can find it for that price, like if you can pick up this, the Parfum, not the Eau de Parfum, for 60 bucks, I would put this in like B tier. Still really strong retail value, but the discounter would crush it at that point. But if you can't find it there, A tier. And I'm gonna put it there for now, because when I searched just now, it was gone again. So, I don't know. Gotta speed things up. Versace Man Eau Fraiche Extreme. Is this stuff wearable? Absolutely. Do people like it? Sure. Is it really memorable? Nah, not so much. This is the first one that I would not put in the A tier as far as just how much attention it's gonna get you. It would be more like C tier probably. It's good, it's decent, but it's not anything, like I said, that's really gonna stick in people's minds. If you do just want like a really simple, easy to wear scent that's kind of like a modern freshie, maybe you could pop it into B tier if you're feeling froggy. You get a 1.7 ounce of this if you choose it. It's 109 bucks retail, so you do save a little bit there, $11. To me, it would be kind of a pointless redemption, so I'm gonna put this down in F tier. This whole empty ground here. Le Beau Paradise Garden, another one that I would put firmly in A tier as far as how much attention you get, but we're talking about if it makes sense as a redemption. Coconut fig and green aquatic notes, it's tropical, it's fresh, it's sweet, it's very nice for spring and summertime. A great, great fragrance to own. So it is one that I would tell you you should pick up if it's not through this, through some other way. Like holding up an entire fragrance store and demanding all their Le Beau. Don't actually do that, don't do that. That's a really bad idea.
One thing led to another, and I stole it.
You stole it?
You get a 2.5 ounce size bottle, so a little bit bigger than the other ones. Retail is $126, so you do save money there. $28, essentially. Now, the issue with this one, you can find it at discounters in the same size, 2.5 ounces, for about 73 or 74 bucks. So it's one of those deals where it's good against retail. Against retail, it is a really nice buy. Against discounters, you're not coming out ahead as much, but I would say maybe B tier for me, because you do get those samples as well, so those count for something. The Most Wanted Parfum, again, A tier. As far as attention, great stuff. Fall and winter, perfect. You get a 50 ml size bottle, $120 is the retail price, so you do save 22 bucks against retail. That being said, sometimes on the gray market, you can find a 50 ml size of this for like $65, $70. So it's kind of the same deal as this one, only you get less here. You get 50 mils instead of 75 mils. I do think it's a better choice than these fragrances over here, but I'd probably put this in C tier overall as far as the value that you're getting. Ooh, Prada Paradigm up next. Yeah, they went with this one instead of YSL Myself. They do kind of the same thing. Clean, fresh, classy, floral forward, easy to wear. So Paradigm also A tier, once again, as far as that goes. But this one is a straight up kick in the nuts as far as the redemption goes. It's just kind of gross. They give you a 1 ounce size bottle. Yeah, 30 whole mils. Thanks. If you thought the 40 mil size was kind of pathetic, this one somehow even worse. And at retail, it's 90 bucks, $3 per milliliter for Prada Paradigm. Are you smoking crack? What are you doing? That is nuts. That is a stupid deal. That is actually $8 less than what you pay for the whole setup. Easy F tier. That is a terrible redemption. At that point, just go to a discounter and buy a 100 ml size bottle. Don't even mess with all the samples and this other stuff. If you really want Paradigm, go that route. Don't get screwed. Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum. Yeah, of all the guilties, they chose this one. So this is gonna be a fragrance that I question a little bit. Now, one thing I will give it, it's pretty unique compared to most of these other fragrances. It's got a fresh spiciness to it, floral aspects, a good dose of rose in here actually. Then it has woodiness as it dries down. It's distinctive, it's potentially a little divisive, it's also strangely wearable. So, you know, it's not like the weirdest thing out there, but it definitely is in its own lane. I would say I'd probably put it like C tier as far as just your ease of use for getting attention. They give you a 50 ml size bottle, retailing that is 137 bucks, so you actually make out really well. It is though a lot less at discounter, so it's gonna go in C tier for me. It's one of those ones where if you love this one the most, you can pick it up and you can go, okay, I didn't make out that bad, because, you know, compared to just buying it straight up, I save money. But if you already know you like that one, the better bet, Just buy it from a discounter, save money. The next fragrance is an absolute hype monstrosity. But before that fragrance, I would like to give you some codes. And here they are. I've got codes for a bunch of different fragrance websites, so you can save 10% off every time you shop at Fragflex. Also have codes for JOMASHOP that only work within the JOMASHOP app, so you can download the app, use those codes, save some money. And also codes for Beauty House and Perfume Box as well. So anytime you shop at those discounters, use those codes, save yourself some money. And I've been bringing that up with these fragrances, of course, as well, because discounters most times are gonna save you a lot compared to buying at retail. This is just one of those times where maybe retail actually makes sense. The next scent, ooh, Jazz Club. Maison Martin Margiela. Feel like Christian Bale in American Psycho. And this is Disrespectful. Disrespect your surroundings. So annoying. They give you a baby bottle, basically a tester size bottle, 30 mils, and it goes for $89 at retail. This one is the easiest skip of the entire bunch. You lose $9 by going with that one. Now, Jazz Club itself smells nice, rum, tobacco, the whole 9 yards. Fall and winter time, it smells great. But you can pick up like a 100 mil tester of that stuff at discounters for $75, you know? So just do that. It doesn't even have a cap, so you don't have to worry if it's a tester or not. It's gonna look the exact same, it's gonna smell the exact same. You're gonna get 3 times as much for a lower price. Terrible deal. Terrible. And as far as just overall compliments, all that stuff, Jazz Club, I would put between A and B, probably B tier, just put it in there. Commodity Milk Plus, which I actually don't own, I just own normal milk. I know that I have smelled Milk Plus or Expressive, I just don't have it at the moment. And this one is tricky, very tricky, because they give you a 100 ml size bottle. Why is that, you may ask? Well, it's because Commodity has basically a deal with Sephora. You could think of it as like a Sephora brand at this point, for the most part. Retail is $155, and you don't really see that one very often, if ever, at discounters. So it's gonna be the cleanest of them all as far as the one that you save the most on. $57 less than if you bought the whole thing outright, and also you get all the samples. The scent itself is kind of like a smoky, marshmallow, gourmand adjacent fragrance, which to me is actually unisex, maybe even leaning a little bit feminine. So it's a little bit suspect that they put it into the men's list, and technically most all the Commodity fragrances are supposed to be unisex anyway. All that being said, $98 for a bottle of Milk Expressive is just about the cheapest bottle of that exists on earth as far as pulling it from a retailer. As far as the attention, I would put it down in C tier, but it goes into A tier as far as the deal. This one is a monster. Burberry Hero Parfum Intense. They give you a 50 ml size bottle, and that stuff retails for $171. Yes, Burberry Hero Parfum Intense retails that high. This is sort of a smoky leather cedarwood forward fragrance. It commands attention. It's very loud, it's classy. Great performance with this as well, and it does smell pretty expensive compared to most of these other scents. As far as ease of use, this is more like B or C tier, because a lot of these other ones are just like grab, spray, go, and you're gonna get attention. This one you have to think a little bit more about what you're doing, but for the people that really can pull this off, it's an easy A tier. But if you're just, you know, trying to get the easiest stuff to wear, it's not that. So like I said, probably B or C for most people. As far as the deal goes though, this stuff is in B tier. And I'll explain why. Right now, there is a stupid price at discounters on this. 50 ml size, $57. Yeah, 57 bucks, right there. So it's a crazy deal as far as compared to retail. Fantastic deal. But assuming that $57 price point stays, it cannot be an A tier. So it's got to chill there in B tier. Valentino Uomo Born in Roma. This one A tier, just as far as attention, as far as compliments goes. Women love this stuff. There's a reason it still sells extremely well. It's kind of a mix of minerality, freshness, and sweetness, a little bit in the style of Invictus. You get a 50 ml size bottle, but it does only retail for $110. So yeah, it's not really a crazy expensive one. You save 12 bucks. That being said, it's one of those fragrances that because it does sell so much, it doesn't get discounted a crazy amount at discounters. So it's not gonna be an F tier, but it can't be up here. It has to be in C tier. Not a bad buy if it's the one that you absolutely love the most, but you can get it for a little bit less at discounters. It's just, it's not that expensive at retail, so you're not saving like an insane amount over just buying it straight up. Bad Boy Cobalt Absolute. The newer one in the Cobalt line, also the more expensive one in the Cobalt line compared to the original. Now, the OG I would put in A tier. As far as compliments and stuff, women love that fragrance, absolutely killer. This one I'd put more in B tier. Retail is $132 for a 50 ml size bottle, which is the size that you would get. So you would save 34 bucks. And this one actually is kind of hard to find at discounters right now because it's new, or new-ish, we'll say. Now, some of the discounters did have this fragrance in stock not that long ago, and if it was still in stock, I'd probably have it here in B tier, but they don't right now, so A tier. If you can't find it anywhere cheaper and through this you get it for 32 bucks off, you can't beat that. Now, when it does pop back up at discounters though, it moves down. Then we got Spice Bomb Extreme. Viktor and Rolf, once again, gonna have that one over an A tier as far as the compliment factor. It is though a fall winter time fragrance. You get a 50 ml of this and it retails for $110, so $12 once again is what you save. And with this one at discounters, you can actually get a 3 ounce for about 70 bucks. So yeah, gonna have to put it in C tier as far as how good of a deal it is. I mean, if it's the thing that you like the most, you can pick it up. You know, any of these over, you could do that and not feel too bad about it. But I would say these over here, you really should think again before you do pull the trigger. And then the last one is one I don't actually own right now. Jo Malone Cypress and Grapevine. Yeah, 50 ml size. Retails for $160. Whew. So you would save $62 versus just picking that one up retail. And you can think of this one like a refined green barbershop older brother to Dior Sauvage with a Tom Hardy contract. And the crazy thing about this one is JOMASHOP actually can't beat this right now. When I checked before filming, they had a 100 ml tester for 200 bucks, which makes it actually slightly more expensive per milliliter for that larger size than the 50 ml that you would get for 98 through this deal. So that one easily goes into A tier for both things. The attention, assuming that you want that type of fragrance, and also the deal itself. And there we have it, the 15 fragrances that right now Sephora essentially thinks men should be wearing, the stuff the ladies would like you to wear, and for the most part, actually, they nailed it. And which ones are actually worth picking up versus which ones you absolutely never should through that deal. I wanna thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.